Hi there, my name is Guy Bucknell and I have 25 years of marketing experience behind me, but I only have 10 minutes to show you the 10 key steps to build a marketing strategy. So let's kick off straight away with step number 1, and that's the preparation. Now, there are two parts to this, and the first part is that you need to know your business. And you need to know your business properly by doing a business model canvas. Remember, a marketing strategy applies to the whole business and not just to the sales and marketing department. If you have done a business model canvas, but not done it in the last 6 months, then I strongly suggest that you do it again. If you have no idea what I'm talking about on a business model canvas, simply Google it and see what comes up. The second part of the preparation is know who your customers are in general at this point. So to determine that, what you need to do is a very basic customer journey actions list and identify everyone who will be involved, i.e. all the actions that need to take place for somebody to eventually buy something off you. In general terms, consumer sales require one person to make a purchase decision, whereas B2B sales will require multiple decision makers, and you need to identify who these are. Step 2, customer personas. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we want detail here, so you need to name that persona and know what they think as an individual, not just what they think about at work. Remember, companies don't make decisions, but people do on a company's behalf. Okay, a company is an entity, people make decisions. If you're a B2B business, there are probably at least 3 types of customers in the customer journey. You need to do a persona for each of them. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about customer personas, because it is actually a big subject, feel free to go to my blog at bucknell.info/blog and look for the blog post called My Imaginary Friends. Next thing you need to do is define your value. Now, value propositions is a word that's knocked about quite a lot, and there's lots and lots and lots of ways to create value propositions. The simpler the better as far as I'm concerned, but you do need to do one and do a proper value proposition exercise for each of the personas you have created. If you want some ideas how to go about this, simply Google value proposition exercise. Or if you want, again, go to my blog and look for the blog post that's entitled Just Like My Ex-Wife ... Step 4. Now we're getting into the meat of this by doing the marketing frameworks. Okay, again, a really big and deep subject, but in short, what you need to do is take each persona and then list out the customer journey actions, and then for each action, identify the customer's primary need that they require whilst they are carrying out that action. Therefore, and then for each need, identify your primary message, and that message is made up of your value proposition and their need. And then for each message, identify where you are going to conduct that conversation, or where you're going to deliver that message, and how you're going to conduct the following conversation. The way I do it is I then split it into 5 moments of truth. And again, if you haven't heard of the moments of truth, I would strongly suggest you actually go to YouTube and Google, and search for Google 0 moment of truth or Google moment of truth. There's a really short video on there, about 1 minute 43 seconds. That's really useful. The boundaries between these moments of truth will also then be your conversion lines. We'll come back to that in a minute. Step number 5, the media plan. So take the media columns from your frameworks that you just built and list the messaging required in each medium, and then add in an estimated cost per quantity. This isn't an absolute cost, this is a cost per quantity. And therefore, we should have which messaging in which media and how much each will roughly cost. Quick tip here, online media platforms such as Facebook or Twitter or Google, etc., and LinkedIn and so on can help you forecast this accurately for free. Step number 6, sales funnels. Now these are based on your customer journey and each of the 5 moment of truth splits. List out each customer step in each media, start with the estimated quantity at the top, then apply the conversion rates between each section, and your forecast sales figures will then automatically or even magically be created at the bottom. Kind of scientific, eh? Next step, number 7, sales forecasts. By this point, you should have all the information you need to get a best guess forecast together. So you go back to your customer journey and estimate how long your average customer will spend in each section. So therefore, you're going to produce a spreadsheet that says, essentially, when I spend X amount of money at point A, I will get Y amount of sales and revenue at point B. So if your flash to bang time or your customer cycle time is something like 3 months, if I spend £5,000 in or dollars in January, I will get X amount of clicks in February, which will mean I'll have Y amount of warm leads in March, and which will mean I'll have Z amount of revenue in April. Do an action plan. As it says on the tin, ladies and gentlemen, who's going to do what and when? It needs to be written down and the tasks delegated. Step number 9, briefing your specialists. If you've gone through all the steps above, you should now have a clear description of your customer, a very defined messaging for each piece of the sales funnel, the most suitable media for each bit of that messaging, probable KPI expectations, and proper media cost expectations. And those last 2 you can sense check with the specialist. All of this gives you all the information you require for a very, very clear brief to your specialists. Step 10, launch your campaign. Now, campaign must follow a scientific process. The golden rules here are: test everything with a small spend first and look for the failure. Analyze, then adjust based on the real data and your existing KPIs. Remember, so-called expert assumptions kill businesses. I like expert hypotheses, but they have to then be proven or disproven. Assumptions kill you. Then welcome failure, but invest in success. Okay, so you're looking for the failure and looking for the successes. You're going to bin the failures and repeat the successes. And then wash and repeat the process constantly. And you need to do it constantly in the long term. So there you go. Those are the 10 steps to building a marketing strategy. And I think we've probably just about done it under the 10 minutes. So what is the result of all that hard work? Well, by then you will have a deep understanding of the building blocks required. And you'll have your first basic set of KPIs that are applicable specifically to your business. This means that you will understand what each element of your company's marketing actions are supposed to be achieving and how. You will have a scientific process, and this will enable data-driven decisions throughout the business, not just in your marketing plan. This in turn will ensure your marketing performance and therefore should deliver you some peace of mind and allow you to get back to sleeping well at night. So welcome to the sunny uplands. That was the very basics of how to put a strategy together, create a plan and launch it. Don't forget that successful marketing campaigns are a really difficult climb and they are built on lots of setbacks, but hopefully most of them minor. If you have planned properly, recorded your KPIs and taken suitable actions, then there will be lots of minor failure, but they will lead to major success. So the last 20 seconds, here's my call to action. My name is Guy Bucknell. I'm a marketing strategy gun for hire. In the 1990s, I was the junk mail king. And if you got junk mail from any one of these brands, then I'm sorry to say it probably originated on my desk. At the noughties, I became a tech entrepreneur, specifically working with flat screens. And to cut it short, if you were a member of a health club in the UK up to about 2009 and were watching music TV as you sweated on the treadmill, again, that probably came from our studios. I exited out of that in 2009. I started a digital agency, which, to cut a long story short, exited again in 2013. And since then, I've been a hired gun for growth strategies for many, many types of businesses, some of which are shown here. These days, I generally work one-to-one with CEOs of corporates who want to better understand their business's marketing strategy because it isn't their core skill. CEOs of SMEs who want to significantly grow their business. I also do quite a lot with startups, but the process is slightly different. With them, we spend a lot more time on the business model phases at the beginning. Sorry, but no franchisees and no MLMs. The reason being is that they are both legitimate businesses, but they have very defined and proven models. And thus anything you do with me will probably create some form of conflict and you will lose focus almost immediately. Unfortunately, you will be the only loser. However, if you can work with me, you need to be coachable, hardworking, and able to take action. I will coach you and help you, but it is your business and the strategy is unique to you. Thus, you are going to need to do the bulk of the work. I promise you, if you have done the work properly, you will want to take the action. So, if all that matches your criteria, why not reach out, say hello. The way to do that, the quickest way to do it, is follow the big blue arrow on the landing page below this video, fill in a very, very short form, and I will give you a call. If you can't find the big blue arrow or the button to take you to it, just go to bucknell.info/hello. That's bucknell.info/hello. I hope that's been useful. It actually has taken me about 12 minutes here. Good luck. Bye-bye.